What's up, YouTube? ODST Journal back again with some more Operation Trebuchet news. And today is going to be kind of an architecture edition because we're going to be concentrating almost solely on buildings. In fact, it's just going to be solely buildings. In fact, nothing else. So they've been putting out a lot of new content revolved around buildings here, and it's all stuff that looks like it's based off of ODST, which is great because ODST had some really good Halo architecture, and I think it's the best base for Halo architecture. So these first few buildings here are really generic boxy buildings, nothing really special. They're probably pretty basic and easy to make. Uh, for the size of these buildings, I'm kind of disappointed that they only have one small door at the entrance. It looks off to me. These look like they should be big office buildings with something like, sliding doors or rotating doors or something. Not just like one little tiny door for, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 stories. Is that right? Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't look quite right. I mean, they look really good in a row. They're not completed. I don't think they're textured or anything, even though this is pretty similar to the style and coloring of the buildings in the actual game. These aren't the finalized versions. Here we've got the skyline for the city. And they actually refer to this as city and skyline development, so I suspect that there will actually be a map that these are being based into. On the back left-hand side in that first row of buildings, it looks like there's a shorter building too. I've got this, popped up on my screen, so it's a little bit bigger and lower high, quality than it would be. Another big skyscraper here, and this is moving away from what we were originally expecting back in the Eridanus insurrection, because back then, when they first were showing off the buildings were supposed to be modular designs, and that way you could just mix and match buildings. These look more like set pieces. None of this stuff looks like you can enter it, whereas all that stuff was supposed to be something you could walk into and you can interact with. We got some more skyscrapers, and then we've got the orbital elevator there for shipping freight and stuff up. Now, originally, I believe they said that was going to be just a set piece for backgrounds, and that would be something you couldn't interact with. Well, as it turns out, you can. You are able to stand on that, interact with it, do everything you want with it. So if you have a really skilled Pelican pilot or Falcon pilot, you can get up on there and snipe from it. Here we've got a mock-up of something you might see in ODST, appropriately. That's why they're playing as an ODST. You've got this overhang from some sort of skyscraper or something with a ramp coming down. You've got some barriers and, looks like a dead infantry or something you're coming up on. And it really feels ambient, and ambience is important for a game. It makes a game feel more lifelike. We've got a street light here. You've got the frigate in the background. Some more buildings here. And these buildings, it's hard to see from these angles. But it looks like some of these buildings aren't really shown off in detail. And it's something we might not have seen yet. It's, like I said, it's difficult to say. And we've got another shot here of the orbital elevator. And it really shows you how high this thing goes. I mean, that's got to be pretty high up to be in the clouds like that. I guess it could have just been the way they edited the shot. Or it could have been faked. But I suspect that it probably does go really high like that, because you would need to have it really high like that for it to look good even from the ground. Even at a distance, you gotta be able to see this thing from a distance and see how high it goes. Here's them showing off that, yes, you can indeed stand on the orbital elevator, so you could, sit back and snipe at these people. They've got some skyscrapers in this shot, and this was an earlier shot, so I suspect all those buildings in the background are just placeholders. They look more like modern buildings than they do futuristic ODST stuff. And here we've got a train station. It looks like there's some sort of escalators or something in place. Maybe they're standard staircases. Working trains, maybe not, probably not, but that would be really cool to see. Looks really good though. You got your glass and stuff coming down. It looks pretty similar in design to the zoo area in in ODST for the firefight mode. The kind of glass domes that overhang in that section. That's what that reminds me of here. You get a little bit lower section that's under the train cars. I believe this is still a raised platform compared to the ground, though. I think this is, still above ground level at some point here. If you look, there's a drop off on the train tracks here, or the support beams from them, I should say. I guess that would be a mag rail or something too. Which brings us to, the zoomed out shot of it, and it just looks really good. Like I said already, some sort of power station or something right at the end there, and it just goes on and on. And, they've been working on a lot of pieces, so you're going to be able to put the stuff together and extend it out and build it as you want for your own city, so it won't be, one necessarily big set piece. You'll be able to do some mixing and matching, but at the same time, I would still love to see that modular building that they showed off in the original Eridanus Insurrection stuff, where you can go around and walk around inside these buildings, and, you can mix and match buildings, so it looks Halo. It feels Halo, looks Halo, but it makes for interesting gameplay too, because these set pieces are important for making the mod feel like Halo. But, at the same time, they only will have limited replayability and limited use if there's no point in putting them in. Because that's what people are going to go for. They're going to go for stuff they can use. Anyways, guys, we'll make this a short video here. I'm actually running longer on the audio than I am in video here, so I have to extend some of these pictures out a little bit longer to drag out the video a tad bit longer for the audio here. So, yeah, just if you guys want, if you have any questions, keep shooting them my way, and I'll answer what I can. Like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Keep checking back for more Operation Trebuchet news and content. Alright, guys, you have a good one.